now? How we doing now? There we go. We are on YouTube as well. For all those watching on YouTube, sorry for the audio issues. That was a butt fumble in and of itself. Pop Lobo, Tua or Stafford this week? I'm going to lean slightly towards Stafford, Pop Lobo. I'd go Stafford. Best doggos, start 3, Mixon, Kamara, Gibbs, Swift, or Achan. Best doggos, I'd go Mixon, I'd go Swift, and for the moment, I'm leaning Gibbs. Gibbs over Kamara is where I'm coming out. The Rams' run defense is they're like a top 12. It's a tricky one. Best doggos, I'd go Mixon, Swift, and Gibbs for the moment. Those would be the 3. Majomes, thanks so much for the galaxy, buddy. Majomes, really appreciate that. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Majomes, how can I trust OBJ? Want to start Brandon Cooks or Ferguson? Thoughts on OBJ? I'm with you. I think I'd start Brandon Cooks. Do I love it? No. I got to evaluate it over the course of the week. But Majomes, part of me wants to trust the Cowboys passing offense more than the Ravens passing offense. But I really got to dive into the numbers. James Nyberg, great to see you. Need 3. Achan, Mostert, Kamara, and Montgomery. Okay, Mostert and Montgomery I'd go with. Mostert and Montgomery I'd go with for sure. And then it gets dicey. I think I'd go Kamara. I think it's Mostert, Kamara, and Montgomery. I think those would be the 3. Part of the reason for that, James, is I don't want to be overloaded on the Dolphins' run offense. I feel like that could burn me a little bit this week. So I'll go Mostert, Kamara, and Montgomery because I like the diversity of the teams in that one. Hope you guys love the content. If you do, subscribe. Get your question and comment in that. So you got to subscribe to be able to comment. Shane Usher, Cup, Debo, Olave if he plays, Wilson, Ridley, Addison, start 3. Okay, the 3 I'd go with are Cooper Kupp, Debo, Samuel, and for the moment, I'm going to lean slightly towards Ridley. It's close between Ridley and Addison. Very, very close. I'm leaning Ridley right now, but Shane Usher, it's close. Kupp, Debo, I'm going to start. I'm just trusting them. I'm trusting Kupp more. I like his matchup more, but I still like Debo. I'd go Kupp, Debo, and for now, I'd go Ridley over Addison. Thanks so much for the question. EMN, thoughts on starting Higgins this week? I don't hate it. I don't think he's necessarily going to have a monster day, but I actually don't hate him. I think he's worth the start. Jorge, Brook Lopez, Defensive Player of the Year, 6 blocks tonight, and he cashed on his over points total. That's what we cared about. Nuve DK, should I start Hubbard over Saquon and Etienne? I hate it. I hate it, Nuve DK. But Saquon, here's the only thing I'm starting to question the Saquon, only because we saw the Eagles defense get run on last night by Kenneth Walker III. Saquon, after having a very bad game against the Saints, does he bounce back? I don't think so. I like Etienne in the passing game, not so much the running game. So Nuve DK, for the moment, I hate giving you guys the name Chuba Hubbard to start, but he is maybe the best play. Avyush, thanks so much for subscribing. Great to have you as a member of the team. Welcome to Butt Fumble Sports. Shady Esco, also start 2. Dak, Goff, or CJ Stroud. Guys, I'm hearing CJ Stroud is not expected to play this week, so very disappointing. By the way, you might want to get your Cleveland Browns bets in now because that line's going to move. But that said, CJ Stroud not expected to play this week. Jorge took Cooper Kupp 48.5 receiving yards because it was juicy and going to get bumped. Thoughts? 48.5 receiving yards for this week? I got to dive into it, Jorge. I haven't looked at it, so I don't want to give you any thoughts prior to. So in the Washington Commanders. So I actually don't hate the idea of starting Garrett Wilson. It just depends on who else you have. Pop Lobo, thanks. How you feeling about Jaylen Warren this week? I love the matchup. I love the matchup against the Bengals. They're a bad run defense. Jorge, I'm going to do my research on that tomorrow. You're absolutely right. I'm going to do my player prop bets for Thursday football tomorrow. I'm going to do actually a lot of my player prop bets for the NFL tomorrow. So actually, tomorrow's show is a good day to tune in if you want some Easter eggs on which player prop bets I really like for the NFL next week. James Nyberg, opponent this week has Chuck. James Nyberg, I don't know what advice to give now about Chuba Hubbard. He's got a great matchup, but Shane Usher, should I pick up likely to start? I have Dalton Kincaid. No. Look, Kincaid's disappointing performance last week doesn't discourage me from starting him this week. He's got a great matchup against the Chargers. I'd start Kincaid. Shane Usher, should and you want to join the show and ask some questions, would love to have you join. But that said, if you're not a subscriber, sorry, this is a subscriber-only show. So, Luke, you got to subscribe to be able to come on the show live, at least for these night shows. You guys know every day at 5 p.m., every weekday at 5 p.m., we have our show for everybody. But these night shows, these are for subscribers. If they're willing to give me just a few dollars to support the company, I want to make sure I give them Jared Goff, but I'm assuming he's taken. Jake Browning isn't a bad idea as well. Matt Stafford, I'm assuming, is picked up after last week. But those are a few names you might be able to pick off the waiver wire who have favorable matchups this week. Justin Fields would be another one, but I'm assuming he's probably rostered in your lineup. If we're looking for some defenses we like this week, I mention again the Chicago Bears against the Arizona Cardinals. Muy interesante, because ever since Montez Sweat came to the Bears, they have been a much better defensive front, which has helped their secondary get more turnovers. I like what I'm seeing from the Bears defense. They're one team I'd consider. Keep your eye on the Denver Broncos. On the other side, keep your eye on the New England Patriots. Don't be surprised if that's a very low-scoring game. I would not be shocked actually if the Patriots have a decent day as a defense. All things considered, though, I'd rather have the Broncos defense than the Patriots. But just a thought there. I'd keep my eye on Will Levis. Will Will Levis play this week? If he does not, the Seattle Seahawks are absolutely a defense I have my eye on. And as for the best defense, or the defense I like the most this week, the Buffalo Bills are going to put a beating down on the Chargers. Keep your eye on that one. Majomes, Niners minus 5.5. Guys, be very, very careful betting against Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson plays NFC teams, I think he only has one loss. He is also an amazing underdog when it comes to covering the spread. Majomes, if you want to take Niners on the money line, I would totally understand. But Niners minus 5.5, I think is a very, very dangerous bet. I would be very careful on that one. I don't like betting against Lamar Jackson against the NFC as an underdog. All the trends point to Lamar covering that spread, especially at 5.5. I think they are doing a disservice to the Ravens by extending it beyond 4.5. I think 5.5. Personally, I'd buy the extra 1.5. I get it at +7 because I don't think this is going to be a touchdown difference. Lethal Jake, one of my dogs got his tooth pulled today. That was loose, so relieved now. Lethal Jake, great for the update. Hope your dog's doing well. Shane Usher, Kelsey or Laporta this week? I would go Travis Kelce. I like Laporta a lot. Personally, I might consider putting both in the lineup, one at the flex, but Kelce would be the start this week for me against the Raiders. Shady Esco, got Cowboys defense, Colts defense, and Raiders. Choose two. I'd go Colts, and I'd probably go Ravens. Colts and Ravens, but you can tell even in how I approach that, I hate it. Awareness, start Lamar in my final fantasy. No, I wouldn't. I would look for somebody else. J-Dubs, I'd go Bears defense. J-Dubs, I'd go Bears defense. Majomes, they almost lost to Rams and Niners are on another level. D-Star, you know what, Majomes? I could not disagree more. I think way too often we try to take games from previous weeks and say, hey, look at how they performed on that Sunday. What does that Sunday have anything to do with this upcoming week? They played in rain. They played an opponent that actually was getting hotter. The Rams were playing better. They had some injuries on that team. I'm not with you. I don't always like to compare. So we're comparing Week 13 Ravens against Week 15 49ers. Majomes, I don't do that because I think it actually leads you down the wrong path. Just look at the trends. The Ravens as an underdog against NFC teams over the last few years have been a very good cover. That's all I'll say. D-Star N, Goff or Fields. I'll go Goff just barely. I don't feel great about that because Justin Fields feels like he could have a monster day. H, thanks so much for joining Butt Fumble Sports as a subscriber. Wonderful to have you with us. Thanks for joining. H, if you have a question, throw it in the comments section. Majomes, Javonte thoughts? Patriots are a decent run defense. I think Javonte could have a decent game. I don't think he's going to go off, but I could see a touchdown maybe. Lethal Jake, stream Baker or Stafford again. I'd go Baker on this one. I'm leaning towards Baker just barely. Do I feel great about it? No, I'm on the fence. But the Saints are a top 10 pass defense. Where the Saints are bad is in the running game. Kyron Williams could have a very big day, but Baker has the better matchup. So Lethal Jake, I'd go Baker Mayfield. Shady Esco has one final question for us. Start 3. Bijan, Swift, White, or Cook? I said it earlier today. I'll say it again. I hate you, Arthur Smith. I hate you. You could be a good man. You could be a good father. You could be a good son. But you know what? You suck when it comes to being a head coach. And you suck when it comes to helping out fantasy football owners. The problem is Bijan has a good matchup this week. The Colts are not a good run defense. The Colts are a bottom 7 run defense. So I'll go Bijan, Swift, and Cook. And Shady Esco, unfortunately, I'm once again relying on Arthur Smith to not, choke on a dog. Jorge Valena, Commanders, Broncos, or Seahawks defense. I'd probably go Broncos. It really depends on the status of Will Levis. Jorge, if Will Levis doesn't play, I'd go Seahawks. Otherwise, I think I'd go Broncos. Matt R. Jack, Ingram or Goddard if Trevor Lawrence sits. Is Trevor Lawrence in danger of sitting? I wasn't aware of that. Oh, entering concussion protocol. Interesting. Yeah, if he's out, I'd definitely go Goddard. I'd go Goddard. H, Higgins, Rice, Allen. Which two would I go with? I'd go Higgins and Rice. H, I'd go Higgins and Rice. I'm not trust Keenan Allen, given the matchup he has. J. Morris, hey man, pick 2. Connor, Eckler, Ford, and Warren. Warren would be one of them. Jalen Warren would be one of them. And then I'm going to lean just slightly. I can't do it. I can't. Can I? Austin Eckler has the second best matchup out of that group. Jay Morris, I'm going to go Warren and Eckler. Don't feel great about it, but that's where I come out. Adiush, Baker, or Goff, I'd go Baker. I'd go Baker just barely. Lethal Jake, would you play Eckler or Allen? They have been my stars, but now yikes. Yeah, yikes is right. I don't feel good about either one. Between the two, who would I probably start? I'd probably start Austin Eckler. The Bills are a better pass defense than they are a run defense. That's how I'm going to justify it, but I don't feel good about it. EMN, pick 3. Pittman, Pacheco, Higgins, Flowers, JSN, or Singletary. EMN. If Pittman's healthy, he's in. Don't know his status yet, but if Pittman's healthy and can go, I'd say him. Pacheco and Higgins would be the other two. Shady Esco, I'm a Falcons fan, and you said it'd be better than anyone. You said better than anyone could have thought. Thank you, sir, as always. Shady Esco, appreciate you. Thanks so much. And Jacob, welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. Fist bump. Welcome to Butt Fumble Sports. Thanks for subscribing. By the way, I feel terrible for Falcons fans. I'm just going to say this as a quick rant. Falcons fans are awesome. I know a lot of people shit on that franchise, but one group of people you shouldn't shit on are Falcons fans, because that is being so loyal to a team that does nothing but break your heart. The Falcons are so disappointing year in, year out, and honestly have no off spot when you have Desmond Ridder leading you and making plays like that. Just inexcusable. Jay Morris, if the Steelers would leave Warren in the whole game, I think they would be better. I agree with you. I think Jalen Warren is the much better player. Now, I know Najee has his moments when he's a downhill runner, but Jalen Warren opens up the run and pass game in ways that Najee simply doesn't. Awareness, start 2. Awareness, I'd start Moore and Waddle. Moore and Waddle would be the 2. Jacob, Purdy or Love? I'm in the championship of the playoff. Frankly, I got to go with Purdy. I know he's got a tough matchup, but if anyone's not paying attention to this Carolina Panthers pass defense, they are the 3rd best pass defense in the NFL. I don't want to face the Carolina Panthers this week, even with Jordan Love, who's obviously had his hot moments and his cold moments. I'd go Brock Purdy on that one. Lethal Jake, play Chandler or White over Eckler. I'd start Eckler over White and Chandler. Jay Morris, Najee, slow and no vision. And worse, if you're going to be a downhill runner, just do it. Just run. Just go. I feel like Najee Harris sometimes, he tries to see the lane open up. You're a downhill runner. You're a north-south runner. Just put your head down and go. Jalen Warren, what I love about him is the versatility. What frustrates me about Najee is he's not fast enough in open space. He's not big enough to run over you consistently. And I feel like he's not just slow, he is deliberate. And that is one of the worst things for a slow running back. He's overly deliberate. I'd love to see him just go, dude. Just hit somebody. Jorge, Ferguson or Njoku. Jorge, I might lean slightly towards Njoku. He's got unbelievable chemistry with Joe Flacco. Michael, howdy to you. Hope you're having a great night, Michael. Thanks for the cowboy hat. Really appreciate it. H, Tua or Flacco? Great question. For the moment, I'm leaning slightly towards Tua. And this is why I say it, because I'm expecting Tyreek Hill to be back, and I'm expecting that the passing game of the Dolphins to be the difference. Now, H, I really need to dive into the stats, so come back to us later in the week, and I'll reevaluate. But for the moment, I'm actually leaning Tua just barely. Shelly Goat, a subscriber, wants to join the show as a guest. Shelly Goat, what's good?
Hey, so I got a couple questions.
Fire away.
Okay, so Lamar, I have a sheet for you. Lamar or Kyler?
Wow. I'd go Lamar.
Okay. Now there's pick 3. It's my 2 receivers and my flex.
Sure.
So it'll be Christian Watson, Zay Flowers, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, and Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit Watson and we're going to sit Thielen and we're going to go to the waiver wire to find that third guy. Because both have bad matchups. The Panthers are a good pass defense. The Packers, despite what happened last Sunday against the Buccaneers, they've been a good pass defense. Thielen could get plenty of targets. I think you should still look to the waiver wire. If there isn't anybody, I'd actually recommend Thielen. But I'd love to see if there's someone on the waiver wire. And specifically, look to the tight end position. Maybe you could find a tight end on the waiver wire who actually might be a decent start. Laporta? 100%. 100% I'd start Laporta over Watson or Thielen.
Okay, so my question would be, in waiver wire, should I go for... So right now the lineup I have is, so my receivers are, running backs I have Josh Jacobs and Kyron Williams.
I love Kyron. I'm not feeling Jacobs that much.
Okay, and what about Connor?
He's got a bad matchup against the Bears. What I will say is James Conner is one of my favorite floor players. And what I mean by that is he's very consistent. He rarely has a true bust game. He usually gets around 55, 60 rushing yards, which is enough to justify the start. As opposed to some of these running backs where they really could have, as we saw last week, a 3-point game. And you can't afford that. Those 3 points, it may seem small. It makes a difference. So I think I like James Conner a little bit more.
Okay, so I have one more question. When you said go to the waiver wire, right now I have JSN available. I have Curtis Samuel. And there's a third one. I forget who the third one is.
I like JSN, but I also don't want to overreact to what I saw on Monday night. When he gets a touchdown, he's worth it. Outside of getting a touchdown, very risky because he doesn't get enough targets. Tennessee is a vulnerable defense. I think I'd still like Thielen. I think I like Thielen more than JSN still, though.
Okay.
Because with Thielen, I know he's going to get thrown to.
Okay. So I'm sorry to keep you. I'm just trying to understand. So right now for wide receivers, I have Keenan Allen.
Yep.
I have Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
And Zay Flowers.
Yep.
Do I keep all 3 or do you?
I mean, I don't feel great about them. I'm not going to lie to you. You don't have a great Week 16 lineup. This is a lineup that was very good clearly in the regular season. You got some really good names there, but you're running into a brutal Week 16 a set of lineups. Do I like Keenan Allen? No. Do I like Zay Flowers this week? Not really. However, given the options that you have on the bench and given who's probably available on the waiver wire, I am trying to give you your best picks. And I think Allen, Flowers, Jacobs for the moment. We'll see if he's healthy enough to go. But these aren't good plays, but they're as good as it's going to get for you, I think.
I forgot to mention I have Cooper Kupp.
Oh, well, get him in the lineup. No, we want Cooper Kupp is the only receiver you've said so far I'm excited to play.
So who do I sit? So I have my lineup. I have Lamar.
Yeah.
I have Josh Jacobs. I have Kyron, and I have James Conner. Which of the three should I start for the two running back position?
For me right now, it's Connor and Kyron. Kyron's the must start. Connor is the. Let's see what Josh Jacobs' health status is. If we hear by, let's say, Thursday or Friday that, like, oh, Josh Jacobs is good to go, he's a full go, maybe I'll feel differently about it. But the fact that there's some questionable health status around him and Zamir White might get the start again, that's what's leaning me towards Connor.
Okay. And then for receivers, do I do Allen and Cup?
I would do. I think I do Cup and Garrett Wilson. Believe it or not, the Washington Commanders are that bad.
Okay, and then the flex I should get. Who should I get in the flex? Do you like JSN better or
No?
Curtis Samuel better?
I like neither of them. Can I put one of those wide receivers we just took out of the lineup back in?
Okay. What about Taysom Hill?
What about Taysom Hill? I'm okay on Taysom Hill. I'm not in love with him.
Okay, so I don't want to keep taking up any more time. I'll get back to you on Thursday and we'll talk more about this.
Oh, no doubt, Shelly. I hope you do hit me up because I want to make sure we talk through this lineup as we get injury reports because I think it's going to make a very big difference in your lineup. But thanks for hitting me up tonight, Shelly.
People hit me up like I have nothing to do all day but answer your fantasy questions. It's the one area where it's like, nah, I'm not doing it. So that's just a heads up for you. Anyway, Shelly, thanks so much for the question. We'll check in with you later this week. If you guys want to join the show as a guest like Philly Sports Highlight, you got to be a subscriber. Subscriber only show tonight, so you got to be a subscriber to be able to ask your questions. Awareness, who should I pick up for Lamar, Flacco or Baker? I'd go Baker. Awareness, I'd go Baker. James Nyberg, Flowers over Hill, over Taysom Hill? Probably. It's very, very close. If you're responding to the question we just had, I think that's right. Philly Sports Highlight, you're not a subscriber, buddy. Sorry. D. Turner, thanks so much for the gift, by the way. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much for helping us out. We really appreciate the support you guys show the network, obviously. You guys make this thing go. CL took down the number 1 seed. Let's go, CL. Way to go, buddy. Fist bump. Nice job. Aviush, Bears or Colts? I'm going to lean slightly towards the Bears. Very close, but I'll lean slightly towards the Bears. Really quick. The Colts are giving up, the 6th most points in the entire NFL. Colts give up a lot of points. Meanwhile, the Bears have been a much better defense ever since they got Montez Sweat. So I'm going to ride with the Bears. Derek Kraft, without Stroud, starts Stafford, Flacco, or Browning. Oof. I think I'd go Flacco. I think it's Flacco just barely over Stafford. Lethal Jake, I need to start 4 wide receivers between Adams, Allen, Drake London, Godwin, Reed, and Samuel. Lethal Jake, I'd go Adams, London, Godwin, and Reed. So the 4 would be Adams, London, Godwin, and Reed. Those would be the 4. Thanks for the question. Aviush, Rashad White, Elliott, Etienne, Mostert, Eckler, pick 2. Yuck. I'd go Mostert and I'd go Mostert and Zeke Elliott, but I don't like it. I don't really want to do that. I'd go Mostert and Rashad White. I'd go Rostered and Rashad White, but I don't feel good about it. Best doggos, Ayuk, Ridley, or Addison. Best doggos, I'd go Ridley. Best doggos, I'd go Calvin Ridley. CL, start 2. JT, Etienne, Jones, or Achan. CL, I'd go Aaron Jones, and I'll lean slightly towards JT. CL, I'll go JT and Jones, but it is very close between JT and Etienne. Jacob, pick 1, Godwin, Addison, or Ridley. Jacob, I'd go Godwin. I'd go Godwin. D. Turner, great to see you, D. Turner. Hope you're having a great day. Running backs to start, JT, Connor, Etienne, Moore, Olave, Smith, and McBride, a must start. I really like McBride. I think McBride's worth the start. I'm not huge on Olave, but okay. Moore, Olave, and Smith. I'm cool with all 3. JT, Connor, ETN. You don't have great matchups this week, D. Turner. I am a little bit nervous about it. That said, I don't have anyone in that lineup that I so hate that I would be running to find a replacement, but it's going to be a struggle. Shelly, I'll definitely get back to with you on Thursday. So, no issue, buddy. No issue. Glad we could talk through it a little bit and give you some thoughts leading through the week. CL, Stafford or Fields? I'd go Justin Fields. I'm going to go Justin Fields just barely. Michael, but can pick up Baker or Flacco. Oh, lost the first part of the question, Michael. Michael, have Lawrence and Browning. I'd go Trevor Lawrence if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, the problem is Browning plays the day before, so you're not going to be able to... I think I'd pick up Baker. I'd pick up Baker, Michael, and because Baker plays against Trevor, you're going to have one of them ready to go. D. Turner. Where's D. Turner's question? I don't see D. Turner's question. Oh. D. Turner, if you could read Fields or Lawrence if he plays, I'd go Trevor Lawrence if he plays. It's super close. Hold on one second. Where are the Cardinals as a pass defense? Yeah, I think I'd go Trevor Lawrence just barely, D. Turner 96. Awareness, I'd go Flacco. Awareness, I'd go Flacco. Joe Modelo, 6-game winning streak. I love it, dude. I hope Butt Fumble Sports has been a big help. Jason, thanks so much for subscribing. Jason, fist bump. Welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. Jason 760. Get that question in now, Jason. CL, Bills or Chiefs defense? Bills. 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 D. Turner, defense to play. Eagles or Green Bay? Great question. I'm going to lean slightly towards Green Bay, I think. Do I feel good about that? No, but the Panthers are an under waiting to happen. I'll take Green Bay in a get-right game after that embarrassing performance against the Bucs. Jacob, I've been picking up a new defense every week. Jets is available. Do you like? Yes. Yes, Jacob. Great look. And by the way, Jacob hits on something I've actually written down on my notes that I want to remind myself when we get to fantasy football draft season in August, which is you don't need a great defense. If I learned anything from this year, spending on the 49ers, spending on the Eagles, spending on one of these top defenses really didn't end up working out. You could have picked up the Browns in week 2 or 3 and had the best defense throughout the season, and I bet you not too many people picked up the Browns at the start of the year. So the whole point is, I think people are drafting defenses too early in drafts. I think it's easier than we think to find a good defense week to week. Yeah, it's nice to have a defense, draft a defense, but I don't think I'm going to spend the same kind of draft capital I did last year. I'm learning that defenses are good week-to-week plays. Yeah, Jacob, I think you're totally right. But Jones, Brady comment, thoughts too? My thoughts on him talking about how quarterbacks need to be better at leading receivers, he's totally right. Tom Brady's right. I am tired of the NFL punishing a good defensive play. Defensive players, their job is to prevent offensive players from succeeding. I don't understand why when that happens, we flag them, we punish them, we suspend them, we fine them. Hits are part of the game. Contact's part of the game. If you don't want contact in football, then let's just call it flag football and get this over with. But I think Tom Brady's exactly right. We are punishing good defensive football. We are rewarding bad offensive football, bad quarterback play, bad offensive coordinator calls. You're putting your receivers in bad spots. You're rewarding bad offensive line play. You are rewarding bad offense, and you are punishing good defense. I think it's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. And I think the NFL needs to... I understand concussions are the number one issue in the NFL and will be, because the NFL is now monitoring how many of their former players are dying prematurely. That's obviously something important. But let's call a spade a spade. We want contact football. We want it. We love it. It's why the sport's great. If you take it out, frankly, let's just watch soccer. I mean that, by the way. Like, if we're going to get to a point where it's like soccer, where you can just flop on the field and the other guy gets a yellow card, then what the hell are we doing? This is football. It's supposed to be violent. That's the point of the game. If you don't want to make it violent, take out the violence and let's call it something else. Jason, 760, pick one, Kyron Williams. Jason, I'd start Kyron Williams out of everyone in that group. Yeah, Mahomes, I just thought it was awful. Rodney Harrison would not have been the caliber of player he was. Ronnie Lott wouldn't have been the caliber player he was. Ray Lewis. Now, I'm only repeating the names that Tom Brady already gave, but it's right. Great defensive football would not exist if we played this kind of, frankly, pussyfooting kind of football. I am so frustrated by how the NFL is. The NFL should maintain that level of violence. It is why people try to tell me that football is a kid's game. No, it's not. Baseball is a kid's game. Baseball is something you play from T-ball all the way until you're an adult. Football is a man's game. And I don't want it to become a boy's game or a child's game. I want the physicality. That's why I love football. Frankly, if you go over the middle and your quarterback throws you a bad pass and you get knocked the hell out, I have no problem with it. As long as it's a legal play. As long as it's not dirty. And do I think the play with Michael Pittman was dirty? No, I don't. I think the ball was put in a vulnerable position. I think Michael Pittman went to a vulnerable position. Do I think it was worth a season-ending suspension? I really don't, actually. Awareness, last question. This for my final fantasy. Thank you for everything. Start Browns, Bears, or Denver. If CJ Stroud doesn't play, I'd go Browns defense. It sounds like Stroud won't play, so I'll go Browns 1, Bears 2, Denver Broncos 3. Awareness, I have loved having you as a viewer during the fantasy football season. I hope you continue to watch us afterwards, but thank you. I am so grateful that you watch us every day. Jacob, do you have a kicker you would like this week, if any available? Someone actually asked me that earlier, and I mentioned the kicker of the Buffalo Bills. I think that's a good play, Bass. He's playing in an indoor stadium against a bad team. Bills have scored a lot of points. I'll take Bass. H, pick one, Singletary, Chandler, or Achan. I'd go Achan. I don't like any of them, but I'd go Achan. Majomes, Newcastle or Chelsea today was good, though. There you go, Majomes. Yeah, a good soccer game always makes you feel better about where the NFL's going. D. Turner, Flex 1, Connor, Boyd, Smith, Hopkins, or McLaurin. D. Turner, I'm going to say Devontae Smith, just barely. It is very close for me, but I'll go Smith over Boyd. It's very close, but I'll go Smith over Boyd by a very small margin. CL, last question, you got to go Puka. CL, I'd go Puka over JT. Aviush, top 5 running backs this week. I haven't given that out yet. I'll probably do that tonight and give that out tomorrow. Jacob, appreciate you, buddy. Aviush, yeah, I like to put together my love and hate list for the week. I'll probably give that out on Wednesday. That'll probably be a Wednesday thing. Jacob, Buffalo kicker, yeah. I didn't even see that question. I love that we were thinking around the same way, Jacob. Appreciate all you guys watching the show. Hope you love it. Dre, got 2 questions. Allen, Waddle, Puka. Waddle and Puka. Dre, Waddle and Puka. And also rest of season, I'd go Bills defense. Bills defense rest of season. Alone in London, Connor, Walker, or Devontae Adams for the flex. I'd go Devontae. Alone. It's just the best matchup. Alone in London, I'd go Devontae. Jorge, Clay is feeling more and more confident every day. Loving how he's playing. Warriors are scary if he is being consistent. 100%. I actually think the best thing that happened to Clay is that he was humbled. I give Steve Kerr so much credit. There are so many head coaches right now in the NBA who are scared to bench one of their star players. And I think it is incredibly important when they don't perform well, send a message. These players are too coddled. They're being treated with kid gloves. If you got to sit them to send the message, I think it's worth it. And Clay has responded. I love seeing it, Jorge. Dre, only pick one between Puka and Waddle. I'd go Puka. Jacob, I honestly feel great about my lineup this week. I left too much on the bench last week and still won. Jacob, let's get that dub. D. Turner, last question before work. D. Turner's got to go protect and serve. Mullins, Murray, or Wilson might pick up Baker. Pick up Baker. D. Turner, Baker Mayfield. He's the one out of that group I want. If anybody else, it'd be Mullins, believe it or not, but Baker's the one I want. D. Turner, thank you for serving. Thank you for protecting. I hope you have a safe day wherever you go. Have a great one. We love having you watch the show, D. Turner. Aviush, Devontae, Moore, Collins, Devontae, or Rashee Rice. I'd go DJ Moore, and I'd go Rashee Rice. Best doggos, pick 2. I'd go Addison, and I'd go Wilson. Best doggos, Addison and Wilson. Whew. Boy, if you guys don't know, I just love talking football with you guys. I love talking sports with you guys. I hope you're or get counseling. I don't know if he does. I actually think off the floor, he's not a violent. How is it we have so many players across so many sports that have domestic violence in their history, but Draymond Green's the guy that's going to be suspended for 3 weeks? I understand he has an anger issue, and I understand if that's what we want to, if he's going into anger management and that's what counseling is, okay, I guess that's okay. But do I think Draymond Green's actions are being blown up a little bit? Yeah, it's on the floor. It's a contact sport. Now, should he be throwing punches at players? No, the whole Valanciunas thing was out of control. But that said, do I think Draymond Green's situation is being escalated to a level that's a little bit ridiculous? Yeah, I think so. You want to suspend him, fine. 3 weeks and making counseling public? I feel like they're taking this guy out and making an example of him, and frankly, he didn't do anything like that bad. Like, I got to admit, in the history of the NBA, what Draymond Green did ain't that bad. There's a lot worse going on in that league. Right now, there's a lot worse going on in that league that no one's talking about. Make sure you're aware of that. The NBA's got skeletons. They brush under the rug all the frickin' time. Kike Esquap, thoughts on a Ja game winner? The dude's amazing. The dude's awesome. Like, I love Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards is a superstar, but I have been missing Ja Morant. And I compare the two because they've got similar height, similar skills, similar vertical, and Ja Morant's just awesome. Ja Morant could take over a game. The Memphis Grizzlies are a bad team, and they are playing a Pelicans team tonight that has been hot and playing well. And guess what? Bang. Ja Morant comes through, and I use the bang appropriately as a pun there, but he was just on fire. In the second half, he was awesome. He got the game winner. Like, wow. I'm just loving it. Jorge, yeah, I'm sweating Steph Curry a little bit. We've been hot on our NBA player prop bets today, though. Squealers, but we hold BB players different than hockey players. You're totally right, Squealers. You're totally right. You're absolutely right. It's a great point. Squealers, do we ride Jalen Warren again or move to Walker? I'd ride with Jalen Warren, but Kevin Walker had a better game than I expected, so I got to give props to him. Majomes dropping jokes. Majomes being hilarious. Kike Esquap, I'd go Taysom Hill. Kike Esquap, I love the question. I don't hate Conklin. It's a nice idea, but I would go Taysom Hill. Jorge, I told you I like Dame on the over points tonight. That cash like almost at the half. That was an easy one for us. Jason 760, pick 3. I'd go Brown, Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think. Brown, Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Awareness, thank you so much for the kind words. Hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you're having a great day. Aviush, thanks for the replies, man. Next only sub, probably tomorrow night. We'll probably do the same thing tomorrow night. EMN, I'd go Kittle. EMN, I'd go Kittle. Charlie, I'd go Higgins and Wilson. Charlie, I'd go Higgins and Wilson. Appreciate you saying you love the content, Charlie. We're getting a lot of love here from you guys. We appreciate it. AD, stay away from Colts players for the most part. For the most part, I would start Michael Pittman if he's healthy. Do I feel the same about Josh Downs? Not really. He's disappointed me too many weeks now. Jason 760, Allen or Hurts? 2 of the best plays this week. I think Hurts is going to have a monster day. I think Allen's going to have a monster day. I'd probably go Josh Allen, given he's been the hotter quarterback of late. They both have good matchups. Jason, I think both are going to torch their opponents. I go Allen just barely, but it's very close. Jorge, start 3. Jorge, I'd start CeeDee Lamb, I'd start Rice, and I would start Pittman if he's healthy. If he's not, I'm going to lean just slightly towards Montgomery. Charlie, what are we thinking about JT this week if healthy? He's an okay play. I'd probably put him in the lineup as like a flex or an RB2 if you don't have someone better. Joe Modelo's, play the Colts defense. It's not a bad idea, but then again, here's the problem. They give up a lot of points. The Colts are one of the worst defenses when it comes to allowing points. They've been better of late when it comes to yardage, but the Colts still have up a lot of points, man. AD, is Diggs still startable? Stephon Diggs is a must-play this week. Stephon Diggs is going to have a monster week. Matt Holliday made the playoffs. Thank you. Thank you, Matt Holliday. Thanks for watching. Pick 3. I'd go Montgomery, Chuba Hubbard, and Williams, just barely. So Montgomery, Chuba Hubbard, and Williams, but it's... Oh, no. Take that back. Matt Holliday, sorry, take that back. I'd go Montgomery, Foreman, and Hubbard. Montgomery, Foreman, and Hubbard. Do I like starting Foreman and Hubbard? Hell no! But frankly, they got the best matchups, and I gotta ride with that, so Montgomery, Foreman, and Chuba Hubbard would be the 3, Matt Holiday. Jason, I'd go Kelsey. Jason, I'd go Kelsey. Majomes, Op has no QB. Pick up Geno, Minshew, or Flacco to block him. Majomes, I'm not a big go out there to block guys. I'm going to admit, I'm not about it, because I think you just got to play it out. Build your team, build the best team you can. That's what I believe in. So Majomes, I'm not one of those that's like, oh, I need to get the other players so my opponent can't. You know what? If I've got the better team, I'm going to win. Squealers, I'm worried about Love this week. I am too. I do not like Love this week, but I don't like Howell. I look for something else. Minshew, it's okay. If Baker were available, I'd jump all over Baker Mayfield. Geno Smith would be another one I'd consider if he's back healthy next week. Kike is Guap. Should I worry about Olave? I think I'd probably still start him. So I'm not worried about him enough to sit him. I'd still probably start him. Kike is Guap. But Jones, take no prisoners. But Jones, we have a different attitude about these things. My general attitude is, funny enough, I do think of fantasy football kind of like golf. It's about my score. If I play the best I can, no one else can beat me. But if I'm focused on my opponents, I'm actually going to probably not focus enough on what I can control. So I kind of focus on what I control. And other than that, I just let it go. I know, novel concept. Long 1389. I think I go Goff. Blanc 1389. For the moment, I'm leaning Goff just barely. Skill and luck percentage in fantasy football. I think skill is probably 60%, and I think luck is 40%. I say skill because you got to draft well, you got to manage your lineup, you got to know how to make trades. I still think luck is a majority of what gets you a championship, but luck is a huge factor. If you had Nick Chubb, what the hell are you going to do? If you had Aaron Rodgers, what the hell are you going to do? So it's just really challenging to be able to distinguish luck from skill, but I'd say 60-40 in favor of skill. Dak or Tua, I'd go Tua. If I had to go with one, I think I'd go Tua. Squealers, DeVito, Rudolph, Mullins would be the one. Mullins would be the one. Jorge, best NFL games this week? Well, Cowboys-Dolphins is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to Cowboys-Dolphins, but there is no better game on the schedule than Ravens-49ers. That is a Super Bowl preview caliber matchup, so I love that matchup. Of the remaining games, there aren't like too many I'm crazy about. Jacksonville, Tampa Bay is actually a game that has a lot of playoff implications, so not a terrible game. But Dallas, Miami, and Baltimore, San Fran, those are the ones. Jorge, any money leagues you in for fantasy? Jorge, I'm in 43 fantasy leagues. Yeah, I'm in 43 fantasy leagues. That's how crazy my life is. AD, sorry if you already answered, but thoughts on Diggs? I actually did answer you earlier, so now I'm not going to answer you. I'm just playing AD. I love Stephon Diggs this week. I think he's going to have a monster week. Nick Pence, is Bijan and Achane a safe start? No, they're not safe. You got to take some risk, but I do think I'd probably start them. Majomes picked up Niners tickets, hoping for not rain though. Majomes, rain or not, it's going to be awesome. Majomes, if you could, take a picture, post it on Instagram, and tag us in it. I would love to see your photos. Jorge, Finns fan here, hope they get the win. Thoughts on them? The Miami Dolphins are a dangerous team. Everyone's talking to me about the Buffalo Bills, and I get it. The Buffalo Bills are playing better and better. Josh Allen's playing better and better. You know what's starting to look really good all of a sudden? The Miami Dolphins defense. Ever since Jalen Ramsey came back from injury, this defense is better. Now, I understand the injury on the defensive line with Jalen, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on him right now. I should know this. But I know that hurt them. They still have a good defensive front. Bradley Chubb is a really big influence. Wilkins is massively important. But that said, when you have Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey out there, look out, because Vic Fangio is a good defensive coordinator. I think the Dolphins are getting better and better, and I don't think enough people are talking about them. Jason, 760. I'd go Diggs over Brown, but I wish you could start both. I don't know why you can't. AD, thoughts on Kansas City defense? I like it. I do like the Kansas City defense. Nick Pence, would you start Bijan and Achane over Etienne and JT? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I don't love it, though. I might sit Achan for... Would I sit Achan for JT? It's close. I might sit Achan for JT. No, I'll go Achan. I'll go Bijan and Achan. Best doggos, I can't trust Bijan. I'd go Gibbs. I trust Gibbs more. Awareness, I'd go Olave. AD, I'd go Etienne. Appreciate you guys being with us. I am going to wrap up the show. We've been live for just about an hour, and, I got to go do my research because we got to give out picks for tomorrow. We got a lot of research to do so we can make sure you guys are all set up for everything that you guys need for tomorrow's sports action. So, guys, make sure you join us again tomorrow. We will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern, everybody. 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're with us. We are live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. and on the weekends at 10 a.m. And yes, we will be live on Christmas because I promised it once. I'll promise it 100 times. We are live every single day of 2023. There is not one day of 2023 we will not be live. So make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. And guys, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will catch you guys at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. 5 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a great night, and I'll catch you then. Goodbye, everybody.